So are the 5 simple things beginner golfers or even high handicappers should really focus on to elevate their games more quickly, right? And so these sort of fundamentals are true even for elite professionals as well.
Yeah. The first thing I would talk about would be grip. How do we hold this thing? How do we attach ourselves to this golf club? That's pretty important. Number one is you need to learn how to attach yourself the same way over and over again. And we have our preferences.
Right. We have videos on this,
We have videos on
I will
it.
try to link those. But there are different ways to grip it, right? But what would be some key not good ways to grip it that we see?
In your palms with your club basically perpendicular to your hand. We want to see it slightly angled through the hand and in the fingers. Okay?
So whether, as far as how the hands are oriented, whether they're to the right, to the left, but the big no-nos are getting it too much in the palms, right?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, more straight through the hands.
Yeah, if it's straight through the hands like this, I can't even touch the ground with it. Like, I can barely reach the ground. And I've got my wrist all the way into as much ulnar as I can put it in, and I still can't touch the ground. We're going to have some issues.
And for those of you that get the right hand too strong, that's usually the case. You get too much in the palm and it gets too underneath like that.
Yeah.
Now we have an overly strong club face. You got an inside backswing probably. So grip can play a huge factor in what we're seeing in the golf swing and in the wrist conditions we establish.
Yes.
Something we talk about a lot.
For simplicity's sake, the way you beginners should hold the golf club, you should put it in your fingers on a slight diagonal, in your fingers on the other side in a slight diagonal. Whether you 10-finger, overlap, or interlock, it's in the fingers on a slight diagonal through the hand. That's it. Don't go too crazy. If you want to know exactly how we want to grip it, probably go back to some of our videos where we've outlined it.
Well, I'll link all these videos in the description. So grip is huge. It's our only connection to the club. Got to start there for you beginner golfers. Okay, so now we're going to go into setup. So you got your grip established. Okay, how do we set up to this golf ball though, right? Because it's not like we're in a straight line to our target, right? We're not bowling.
No.
This is a side-on sport.
Yeah, so generally speaking, we're going to be more or less parallel to our target line with the ball, when the ball's on the ground, more or less in the middle of us. So it's maybe just forward of our center, and we're kind of parallel to where we want to go.
So for you guys at home, you beginner golfers, put an alignment stick down and make a railroad. So don't point this stick at your target, point it parallel to your target,
Yes.
like a railroad. You see this with PGA Tour players and the best golfers in the world. Every single week they have usually some sort of setup like this.
For sure.
So make it easy on yourself.
Make it really easy on yourself.
Get your feet parallel to this. And then, now that you kind of established your aim, let's get a good posture. So what are we talking? Are we talking like straight back?
No, we want to be nice and relaxed. So I've got my good grip on. I like to grip the golf club with the club in the air. So we got our good grip on. Now we're going to put the club in, and we're just going to let ourselves relax. Don't want to be straight backed and arched my back. I just want to feel like I'm kind of melting into the ground. So I'm nice and relaxed. My shoulders are soft. Everything's just nice and relaxed.
That kind of looks like bad posture to me.
Well, it's not like soldier posture, shoulders back, sticking my chest out like I'm big and strong. It's just real relaxed, where I feel like my shoulders are oily and easy to move.
So, and that kind of gets you in the shot too. You're a little more on the ball versus getting up and back and being sort of putting yourself too much out on the horizon, right?
Yeah.
Get in this good setup, right? Get that good grip. These are just some key aspects to really focus on versus going and watching one of our other YouTube videos and implementing some crazy rotation feel, right?
It's probably too complicated.
Let's get started on this stuff first.
Yep.
Then we can worry more about the dynamics later.
Also in setup, which may be your third one, is face alignment. Understanding how to aim the golf club. For me, it's critical that we learn how to aim our club face. I see players trying to aim the top line of their club all the time, which what that makes the club look like is a club that's very shut, aimed way to the left.
This one right here, right? We see that a lot from beginner golfers, that face pointed left. I think what that has to do in the golf swing now that you got to compensate, right?
Yeah.
Because if you actually hit it with that face, you're going to hit it way left. So then you start opening it in your golf swing thinking it's still square, now
Yep.
you got a slicer real quick.
Yes. Let's learn how to aim the face, use the bottom groove or the bottom edge on an iron, and aim it at an intermediate target out here in front of you. So you can feel, okay, I can aim that bottom edge. Don't try to aim the top, because if you try to aim the top, it's impossible. It's not square. So aim that bottom edge, then take your setup.
And then also the face through the golf swing. I think it's easy for this club to get a little bit erratic, the face to get opening and closing a lot. I think if you can start with just some basic motions of keeping this face pretty square and square going around you,
Yeah.
starting with some little short shots. That's a good way to understand your face.
Those who have taken a lesson from me or who are members of my site will understand I like to start with just little motions like this where the face is not actually doing anything. I'm just turning and that face is just moving around the arc. We can minimize how much of this we implement in our swing, because that's just one extra element of timing that we don't need. It takes way too much practice to learn how to time it. It's just not necessary.
Okay, grip, setup, face alignment, and through the golf swing. How about impact? That's our fourth key.
Impact is critical. To be able to understand where we're going helps us understand how to move so we can get there. So understanding that a good impact actually looks like this, where my lower half is slightly turned out of the way, my upper half is slightly turned out of the way, my right arm is lined up to the shaft or even under the shaft, so we've created this line of compression. That would be a nice solid impact position right there. I know that that's where I'm trying to go. That's very helpful. I've got a roadmap now. I know that this is not going to get me there. So now I can start to create the motor patterns that are going to help me deliver the golf club to the impact that I actually want.
Our fifth key
Would be just athletic motion.
athletic motion. How we move.
Yeah. So athletes move in specific ways across sports. And what that means is that you're always basically countering the motion of the thing you're swinging. So if this is my instrument I'm swinging, to get it moving, I'm going to start moving back. And now as it starts to move back, I'm going to start to circle back forward and so on, all the way around the circle. So as the club's coming down, now I'm pushing back. And so it's just a continuous flowing athletic motion. And that's the magic. But how do you do that? It can be a little more complicated, but most of you naturally know how to move a little athletically. You know how to throw. You know how to swing a bat. Well, same thing. You're moving athletically, shifting pressure athletically.
And hopefully sequencing athletically too, right? So we're not applying this extra force with our hands and arms. We're using our body to drive this motion.
Yeah. Body is the engine, arms and hands are the transmission that sends energy out to the golf club. Once you understand that you're trying to get to this impact, the picture is a little more clear, and then you can start to learn how to move in a way that will allow you to get there.
For that section, we recommend do some movements at your house, build up that understanding of the movement you see. Watch some tour players, see how they move. Don't focus quite as much on just their club. Look at how they're moving.
Yes.
And that can help in you moving better in your golf swing. And then really dial in these fundamentals with your grip, your setup, how you're aiming the club face, how you're aiming to your target, and then dial in impact so you know where you're going.
For sure.
Right?
I would advise anybody who's taking up this game that you should actually come over to our site where we walk you through how to build this step by step. It's not something, we don't get super advanced right away. We take everybody and break them down to the very beginnings.
Whether you're a professional golfer, I mean, we both work with an LPGA Tour player, and she does the foundations all the time. We focus on, making sure her setup's good, making sure her aim's good, grip, all that stuff. So whether you're an elite golfer or a beginner golfer, you still want to follow that sort of same roadmap, and we've kind of laid that out in a website. So if you can't reach us in person, you watch these first 30 videos or so, now you have a clear understanding of what you need to focus on when you go and practice.
Yep.
Okay, Milo, well, there are the 5 keys for you beginner golfers out there. We hope you enjoyed this. Focus on these, and we promise they're going to help you elevate your game more quickly. And we hope you guys subscribe and join us on our online academy, milolinesgolf.com.